Melling. Ready to rumble. The break of his has been excellent tonight. His form once he's been amongst the balls has been near impeccable. But due to the nature of these evenings, it only takes one slip up and you can find yourself right up against it. And that might be the opening that Andrew Patchett needs to put some pressure on in this final match of Group 12.
Game on, isn't it? Game on. And Chris is very unfortunate here with the cue ball being kicked in like that. He started the first 2 matches that he played tonight with break clearances, and, well, every chance. And Andrew really needs to make sure of it. This is going to start with a reverse clearance. He's got 1 red to work out. He's going yellows here. I'm surprised by this. Does that the 8 ball goes left centre? Surely reds are the option here, are they? Yeah, I mean, to me, you've got the 1 red that is nearest the right centre pocket that doesn't go. He felt like that was. I mean, it does go, but you've got to get on it. I mean, where he is now would be on it, but I mean, I'm really, really surprised he's going yellows here. I'm the yellow nearest the cushion on the left-hand side is awkward. The yellows are, the connections aren't great, and he's in trouble already.
It felt like a really strange choice. Maybe one that he'd love to have back.
But you've got ball in hand, and all the reds are in the same area of the table. And I know that the 8 ball is in the bottom half of the table, but the 8 ball goes anywhere. You get the cue ball anywhere in the bottom half. The 8 ball went left centre. I'm really struggling to see why he went. Why there was an argument to go yellows. I mean, he must have had one. He must have had a really clear plan of the reason for it. Yeah, I'm surprised.
That was such a good opportunity as well. Let's really put some pressure on. Not just on the scoreboard, but also just getting them maybe turning a little bit, you know, broken it off, 1-0 down. I'm here to win. Next break.
He's going to get a second opportunity. Well, he's going to get a second visit to the table. I'm not sure it's an opportunity. I don't think anything's on from where he is.
I think the one closest to the 8 ball may go bottom right, but it's not exactly an easy shot.
It's a good shot in terms of he's kept Chris at bay there, but he's put the yellow in a bad area. Just overhit the shot by, what, 6-8 inches on the yellow.
Yeah, it is the yellow hanging over the right centre and the cue ball in a similar spot. He's played a great shot, but yeah, you're right. You always want to be sort of promoting your own interests whilst trying to suppress your opponents in this rule set.
Brilliant from Chris. That's, you know, he was trying to knock the red towards that pocket, making good things happen, gets that side of the yellow, gets the other side of the yellow. Whenever you're playing a bend like that, you know, you can't be that precise, but he knew good things could happen playing it the way he did, and that's what's happened here. Chris could go here. He could. It depends on whether. I mean, you can take this really awkward pot onto the top of the table, and then there may be a way of dealing with the top right-hand corner. So the question is, but you see the 3 reds at the top of the table. Can he play one of those off the yellow? Is it close enough to the pocket to be able to play that? Because he's on a, you know, if that's the case, then it would open everything up. Take it for granted, really. That was such an excellent opening pot from Chris. You kind of, it was never a thought in my mind that he could miss it. It was a strange one.
Yeah, you almost in your own mind hold him to a higher standard than other players, which is maybe a bit unfair on him sometimes, but he is just that good.
Okay, so that yellow was too far away, so it is still awkward here, and he's a little bit short. Okay, does he still feel he can clip this red that he's nearest to in then? Must do.
How's it going to lie? I think
it's not great, because I don't think he can get the cue ball down the table. The red might still go past the yellow, but I don't know whether he can get there. It's so hard to hit the shot with enough pace. Have to come, what, twice across the table? Unless he feels he can just get the cue ball somewhere near the, just above the 8 ball, maybe, and then have a thin clip.
Asked a huge amount of himself in by his standards. Trying to scrape around off 3 or 4 rails. But the red and yellow going together has just asked a question.
I think the yellow still goes. I actually think that's worked out well for Andrew, because the red is dead. And it's going to give him a sense of a free hit when he takes the one to top right. Said it was a free hit. The reason I said that is if you miss it, you're not leaving anything on. So that's where that comes into play. But what can Chris do? Loss of turn double, maybe. Get the cue ball, keep the cue ball on the bottom half of the table. Big shot.
Yeah, I think it's always got on there. Great shot. What a shot. Couldn't have executed it much better. The only thing he'll be annoyed about is whether 2 reds have ended up, but in terms of actual execution on that shot, that was pretty perfect.
Well, they're not going to be there after this. The yellow actually would have, I think he would have cut to top right, but the red's gone across and blocked it. It's a good shot from Andrew. Delicate shot now from Chris. If he can't see the red at the top of the table, though, the way he's looking, I think he can, so he is still in control of this frame, but he's got to be careful not to leave this yellow on.
Well, the first frame of any important match is important. We've had 8 minutes already of this one. And this feels weighty. No attempt to pot that from Chris.
This could really give Andrew the frame here if he can get this shot right. It's dangerous though, because if he gets it wrong he'll lose the frame off it, but he has an opportunity here to put Chris in a world of trouble. Strange this is the absolute last thing that Chris would have wanted, even if he went on to win it, which he's now going to have to come up with a great shot to win this frame. But the speed that Chris plays at, he wants this match to go the distance, and well, 9 minutes played now, it's just shortening everything up, which all plays towards Andrew's favour here.
Well. Speaking of playing to Andrew's favour, what a chance this is for 1-0. And not just 1-0, but half the match clock gone.
And Andrew has the next break.
ball cue ball's going to stop short. And Andrew Patchett goes 1-0 in front. Remember, winner of this goes through. Chris Melling also has the draw. There'll be no 6 red shootouts tonight. Winner of this will go into a last 16 group that contains Clayton Castaldi, Chris Day, Neil Raybone, the 3 most recent qualifiers from the Champions League.
They won't say it, but they're all cheering Andrew on as well.
That
was a very strange opening frame to this match, but Andrew probably should have won it in the first visit, but the fact it's lasted 11 minutes is to his advantage.
I have a suspicion this frame won't last 11 minutes. Something tells me.
Yeah, not the easiest of layouts though. I'm interested to see how Chris attacks this. Right above the 8 ball and is awkward. Is he happy enough just to leave that as a double? If he is, does he leave the angle to develop the 8 ball a touch? Because then if he doesn't move the 8 ball, getting onto the 8 ball isn't guaranteed. Or he might be trying to develop here, which is interesting. It's not perfect, but also I think Chris has got 1 shot to play here, and if he makes it, he wins the frame. It's just a bit awkward. He didn't want both to go in on that previous shot. If he takes this up to the top of the table and hits the gap, he's won the frame.
Cash ball. It has a little wobble, but it finds its home.
Yeah, pulled it back underneath the 8 ball rather than hitting the gap, just so that he doesn't get too high on it. Excellent pot.
Oh, no way. Oh, wow. Well, Chris Melling has to pull something out of his hat. He actually made almost this identical shot a couple of years ago in the Champions League. Shot the tournament that year. He needs to find another one. All of a sudden, it was routine. Well, well, well.
Yeah, that's quite incredible. That really is. That yellow. I was thinking to myself that yellow. Look, it plays big. You know, just be careful. Whichever side of it you want to go, just be careful. But you know, this is Chris Melling. You know that he had all the room in the world. It's amazing to think that he could end there. Obviously, not what he was trying to do. That has really made this well. It's changed the night, hasn't it? Andrew's still got to steady himself here. This isn't an absolute guarantee because of where the 8 ball is. Leave yourself left centre, last ball, get yourself right behind the 8 ball. That's the order of the day. You've got to cue it in.
He's ball in hand perfect at this stage in the visit though.
He just wants to pull it back. It doesn't want to get to the straight, but wants to be 1 turn shorter straight, and then you're right behind it. You don't want to go past the straight though. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect.
This for 2-0 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and to set the cat firmly among the pigeons. Heart of the pockets. Well, now then.
Yeah, for the neutrals, that has made it a fascinating ending here.
Clock will stop with 5 minutes left for the racking of the ball, so when Chris Melling breaks off, there will be precisely 5 minutes left to go in this Champions League group. He needs 2 frames. And he has broken dry.
Yeah, not happy, of course he's not. But this isn't a guaranteed out for Andrew. This is not a good layout, and I think you play the match here. I really do. He has the next break, which I think is big. But remember, Chris only needs the draw, so if he loses the 2 frames, he'd be in trouble. But I just think if you take it on here, you use up 2 minutes doing that, get countered and break dry, you'll be kicking yourself. Make a mess here, make it hard. There's no finish on.
Or is there? He's going.
But that red at the top of the table goes nowhere.
Look, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying what I'm seeing, and he isn't going.
Yeah, he was
He's
trying to
pulling.
put the red on top of the 8 ball. He's actually a little bit disappointed it's not made the 8 ball worse. If that 8 ball still goes, he'd be a little bit annoyed here.
I thought for a second he was flying into the bottom right side of the table.
I did as well, to be honest with you.
Chris plays a loss of turn. Oh, but the cue ball goes in as well. I say plays a loss of turn, he obviously didn't play it, but that was the result of that missed shot.
He's just going to play the snooker at the bottom of the table here, surely. Looks like he's going to try and use the 8 ball to do the same thing. He's going to leave sight of yellows. He's left a double. Has he left a double with an angle to develop the other one? If he has, it's a poor shot. I don't think it's too straight for that, to be honest. Yeah. Why not just lay the snooker bottom right? I don't understand the. I know what he's thinking, that the 8 ball still goes, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was.
Oh, you got to feel bad about that shot right now.
Yeah.
Double toil and trouble for Andrew Patchett. Chris Melling is fizzing through these. Oh, that could be such a big error. That could be such a big error. Well, loads of time left, 2:45 in fact, and Chris Melling is only 1 frame away.
What's he trying to? I don't understand. Why not just put the cue ball and play the red? You know, cue ball just fall onto the cushion and leave the snooker bottom right. You gain nothing by playing the shot you played. I guess he was thinking, I can make the 8 ball tied up again. He was trying to tie the 8 ball up on the previous shot, and he was probably thinking, I can play this and have the red fall in front of the 8 ball. But he's left the double on the. Just leave Chris snookered. Just leave him snookered, and yeah, very strange choice for me, that one.
Oh, it's one he might really regret. Nice to see the pair of them sharing a bit of a smile out there in the heat of battle. 2:45 to play.
2 frames.
Andrew Patchett leads by 1. Oh, it's dry.
It's dry, but he's left no pot on for Chris.
I don't know.
No,
Does that red go left centre?
No. Top of the table, yes. Oh, we had the double. Another double.
He's drilled those doubles as if there were nothing in the last couple of frames.
And 8 ball might be a double here as well.
He actually doesn't need to absolutely fly at these, Chris. But, I mean, maybe this is just his usual pace. It's tough to tell sometimes. Oh, did he rush?
No, he loaded that up with side. That was a. Let's see why. Slightly strange one. Maybe he was just trying to avoid the yellow. But yeah, he loaded that one up with side. From like raised hand, hampered queuing, he just turned it a fraction. That was a surprise.
143 and ticking away from a spot in the last 16. In a so far what has been a little bit of a competition for the underdog, but this would really be the ultimate underdog story.
He's going to get Chris snookered here, or he should. He has.
Need that red to fall. think if Chris feels, I think if he hits the middle of the two reds, something good might happen. Or he needs to hit a cushion. And he has.
No, it doesn't matter. Andrew's got 4 wide open balls and a fifth one for good measure. I mean, the match is over. What a very strange match. Chris will be kicking himself. The mistakes he's made in this match have been very surprising.
It's a huge upset incoming. Callum Singleton, Karl Sutton already gone. Chris Melling on the brink. Andrew Patchett to rise above them all. Chris Melling knows the writing is on the wall.
I think he's made 2 mistakes tonight, and they've both been in this match.
Andrew Patchett with an unbelievable performance. What a result for him. A smile and a shake of hands from Chris Melling. You can see what that means to firepower Patchett, who has fired his way into the ultimate pool last 16. What an underdog result. What a performance. And what a feeling that must be. We'll get a word with him when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Look who's joined us in the studio. Andrew Patchett, safely through out of the group of death, mate. That must be some feeling.
Absolutely over the moon. Didn't expect to get through, but you know, I've played all right tonight. I've had a bit of rub at green as well, so yeah, it's gone my way. Happy days.
We were sort of saying on commentary that you're exactly where you wanted to be after 2 matches in terms of you go into your final match against Chris, a win is good enough, and that's how it played out. But I guess you went into that match thinking you're going to have to play some really good stuff, but Chris gave you a couple, but you did what you needed to do. Yeah,
exactly. Still got to take him, haven't you? Yeah, unlucky at Chris there. He obviously kicked in off first frame. Yeah, I'm overall happy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It was a crazy night, and you know, we knew in a group like this, obviously, it wasn't just a case of, even though you were the underdog, you just said that yourself at the start of the night. It wasn't like a case of, well, 3 players then you. Everyone could beat each other tonight, as is the case on a lot of Champions League evenings. But tonight, I think more than any other, how big was the start of the night for you, and coming through that first match sort of unscathed and in the right headspace? Because that match against Karl felt like a bit of a weird one. You could have easily been quite hard on yourself at the end of that, because Karl probably knew he got away with one a little bit, but it sort of just felt like you were consistent all the way through.
Yeah, I think I had a bit of a shaky start, and I usually do that. I sort of feel a bit more at ease the further I go into a night of pool. Yeah, I probably should have won that match, so yeah.
You say at ease, but how are you feeling at what, 2-1 or 2-0, and then he gets the opportunity, it's 2-1 in the final one and you break dry? You must be thinking, oh no. Chris goes around so quickly.
That happens a lot of the time in pool. Yeah. When you want a ball on the break, it just doesn't seem to happen. Yeah. It's a crazy game.
And how pleased were you? Obviously, it's not the type of shot that you're going to show it, but when Chris looks like he's got ploppins to tie it up and he ends up snooker on the 8 ball, you must be sat there thinking, oh my God.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't believe he'd done that. You just want a chance, don't you, against him, and if they are there, you're going to get them, hopefully. So. Yeah.
Does it just feel like the game's in a good place, though, in terms of, we've seen players that, obviously, good things happen when you're going well. You've just come off the back of a, good performance at the plate. Obviously, it's not what you wanted, but it's still a good performance, and you come into tonight and things are going well.
Yeah, things are going pretty good. I've actually played 2 comps this weekend. I've won a flyer on Friday, just a little one, and then I've got to a final on Saturday, lost in the final of that one. And I've come here Monday and I've done this. So overall, it's been a mega weekend.
We talk all the time on commentary about how important it is just to win. In the fact that you won a plate, the fact you said you won a couple of tournaments this weekend and went well in the other one. Winning in any form anywhere is so important, just to get the confidence up and know that you're doing the right things.
Yeah, definitely. That all comes from the practice table. Obviously, you put the time in, you're going to get the rewards, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
No substitute for winning, though, and we're 2 weeks away from the first massive event of the year, and you couldn't be going into it in better form, really.
Oh yeah, that's true. I've got a couple of, well, every draw's tough, isn't it? So yeah, just hopefully have a good weekend there as well.
To be honest, mate, I think tonight of all nights you've proved that draws don't mean anything. Reputations count for nothing, and fabulous performance. must be pretty over the moon. I wondered how many people back home will have been watching, cheering you on, though.
There's quite a few, yeah.
I thought there might be, yeah.
Got a lot of friends and family watching, so thank you for watching, everybody.
I'm sure the phone is about to blow up for you.
Probably,
right now.
yeah.
Before we let you go, I just wanted to touch on, because we've done this quite a bit this year in terms of the season as a whole. Obviously, this is now year 2 as a pro. Has it changed your attitude coming into this year? Obviously, we've said to every new pro, give yourself a season, settle in. But now that you're on year 2, is there any goals that have been set? How are you feeling for the year ahead?
I would love to get to top 32. I've sort of set that standard for myself, that sort of goal.
Sort of try and work your way through in stepping stones, if you like.
I've concentrated a lot more in matches than I have been doing in the past.
Yeah.
If I do achieve that goal, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, well, certainly on your way to it at least. Some healthy chunk of ranking points from this night, and you've still got a last 16 group to come. And that draw is set. Chris Day, Clayton Castoldi, Neil Raybone, and yourself in the last 16. And I'm sure you'll fancy that.
Yeah, I'll do it after tonight. I've got to fancy it.
Yeah, you can't say you don't now. Absolutely, yeah. Well, absolutely fabulous performance,
thank
Andrew.
you.
Really pleased for you, and we will see you back here in a little while. But best of luck before then at the series. We'll be back with you same time, same place next week. We've got another stonking group for you. It contains Sean Chipperfield, the fastest man in the West, is back on the table. Shane Thompson, Jez Graham, and Andy Williams for company as well, for the right to join that fella right there in the last 16. Andrew Patchett through in Group 12. We'll see you next week for Group 13. Good night.